called. This is a challenge because you know
Yeah.
how they got hood vlogs. This is good
Yo,
vlogs.
good vlogs. I like this right here.
Good
Good
vlogs,
vlogs.
and
Good
this is a
content.
challenge. I'm challenging someone to come up with a black community better than this.
Yeah.
Rocking with Dr. James. Good vlogs. Hood challenge. So here we are driving through the neighborhood, giving you a look at the houses, letting you see the landscape, letting you see what the neighborhood looks like. Grass is cut, dogs being walked. You know, it's not loud, rowdy, very neat, clean cut. Please slow down. We want a nice, safe, respectable environment for our kids. Here we are getting a better look. This is another part of town, Lakeview. You get to see more expensive houses. You know, we got houses from $600,000 up to $1.5 million here. Maybe a little bit more expensive than that. This is a 3-car garage. I believe this house has 6 or 7 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, big backyard. You know, there's other houses on the block just like it. But yeah, this is to give you an idea. You know, I'm not going to walk around the entire community. That would take extremely long. This would be a 5-6 hour video, even though Lakeview is not huge. It's big enough to where if you're walking around, you know, it would be a long video. But I just want to give people an idea of what the neighborhood looks like in general so that people see I'm not just highlighting one street or, you know, one section of the community. Right now, we over here, West Hempstead State Lake Park. We over here on Hillman Street, where you can enter into the park through the sunk, the part of Lakeview we call the sunken city because it goes downhill. It's a bigger park. It's off of the Southern State Exit 18. People host barbecues, family reunions, all types of stuff. It could fit thousands of people in the park. Come here, you know, let the kids play, run. They got open fields, swing sets, playgrounds, um, nice parking. We got the basketball courts, tennis courts that you hear in the back, all of that. I remember coming over here when I was a kid. You know, we used to ride the bike trails. We used to play basketball. Easily to get a basketball court. It's not crowded. And you know, this is our town. This is part of Lakeview. So let's go take a quick look. So here, I didn't have my microphone on. I was reading that. You won't be able to hear it. But here we have, you know, you see a nice clean park, tennis courts, people playing, able to play tennis. You see black people out there. You know, they try to make it like we don't play tennis. Swing sets for different ages. That looks like age 3 to 5. You got your bigger kids, you know, 3 to 5 going there. Then you got the swing sets for the bigger kids. And then on the other side, you know, for your infants. So nice clean cut park, playground, kids to have a good time. As you can see, it's not crowded. Very neat, cleanly. You know, cleanliness is next to godliness. This is part of our community. Black community, you know, easy entrance, water fountain, nice landscaping. You don't see a whole bunch of beer cans, cigarette butts. You don't see none of that. You know, that's stereotyped. You know, they try to make it like every black community is negative, and that's what you'll see. You'll see a whole bunch of needles and stuff like that. Nope, you don't see that there. That's an open field for kids to play soccer, football. That's where people barbecue. You know, can have everyone go out there. This is just what we do. It's part of our community. The basketball courts. I remember going here, playing basketball as a kid. Go down there, a couple of your homeboys, get a one-on-one tournament, 2v2, play a couple games, and you go home. You know, you either walk there or you go down there on your bikes. You know, some people live real close to this park. Depends on what side of town you live on. We got like three main basketball courts where you could play here. Then we got Lakeview Park, and then you got the basketball courts behind the high school. You know, those are the three main places. But this is all a part of the community. All nice, clean, safe places to come, spend your leisure, play basketball, doing things that, you know, kids, teenagers do. You know, double rim hoops, clean, nets, you know, backboards, back driving through the community. I actually saw one of my homies I knew. I blew the horn. Person had a graduate. Somebody graduated as a black girl. You know, things to be proud of. People put those in front of their yard. You see white picket fences. You know, this is what we talk about, and they try to, you know, say we don't do this. But remember, we've had communities like this several times, and they destroy it. But I'm just proud to say I'm from a community that's, you know, strong like this. Here we go, Parkside. You know, little mini mall. That's my homeboy Tim. He was like 2 years behind me in school. My microphone wasn't on here yet, but I asked him if it was a safe community. And he said, yeah, great place. Great place to raise your kids. And he said he was proud of me. He was headed to work. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't hear it. I didn't have the mic on yet. I got it working later. You know, I turned it on. You're going to see that. He headed to work. I'm talking about how I didn't tell him to say, you know, I didn't force him to say it was a good community. He said that on his own. Good dude. We working hard. You know, this is a community. It should be on. Should be on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, yeah, I see it's on. So yeah, we out here. Lakeview, Parkside, Mr. Lee's. You got real estate over here. Mr. Lee's. You know what I'm saying? I'm in front of Mr. Lee's right now. Parkside, as people used to come. You know, you get your sandwich, get your Chinese food. You know, people used to chill and talk. You know, not too long. I don't like people staying around chilling, talking too long. They used to do a little bit more. As you can see right now, you don't see nobody lingering around here. People going to get their food, going to get what they got to get, and people going about their business. Ain't no loitering, none of that. And it ain't because they can't. They just not doing it. People about their business. This is a type of community where, you know, people are productive, active, black community. You know what I'm saying? So this is a challenge to everybody out there. This is a challenge to the United States of America. Show me a black community better than Lakeview, Long Island. The Lakeview community, Lakeview, Long Island. Show me one that's better than this. Healthier, more resources, got more things going on, and still maintaining that black culture, especially that FBA culture. Show me one. You know what I'm saying? This is a great community to raise your kids, to grow up around children that look like them. This community is around 90% black and Hispanic now. When I grew up, it was around 98% black and Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? Like most neighborhoods, like most black communities, you have, you know, the blacks and Latinos that mingle in the community. Like in different communities, you see Chicago and Compton and different parts, whether it's California, Illinois, different parts, Missouri, different parts of America. You usually see us mingled in. So we mingled in here. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you got your deli, Chinese food spot. Go get your laundry done, all in walking distance. Over there, we got a nice spa. You know what I'm saying? That's recent within the last like 5 or 7 years. That used to be a church. You know, the black community's got a lot of churches. We're gonna show y'all the churches. Um, but yeah, so let's walk in here. Let's talk to the people. You know what I'm saying? We walking and talking. This is this is fresh. You know what I'm saying? This is fresh. We walking and talking. Y'all with me? So this is Mr. Lee's restaurant. Remember when this was? Remember when Mr. Lee was in here? Hello, doing a video. Yeah, it's on the history of Lakeview. Yeah. How do you know Mr. Lee? How do you? Your uncle? This is Mr. Lee's nephew. So when I grew up out here, Mr. Lee used to be the person is named after. Obviously, used to be in here all the time, and he knew everybody's family. He knew everyone's family for like generations. Like, how long has Mr. Lee just been here? 45, 50 years? I believe it. He knew everybody's uncles, aunts, cousins, some people's grandparents, servicing with Chinese food. So if you're ever in the town, you need your Chinese food, this is where you need to come. All right, thank you. To the park? What, for the basketball games? Yeah, yeah, I know. See, he talking about the basketball games, the tournaments we got. Did they put a picture up for it? Oh no, they didn't put a picture up for it, but they hosting the basketball games and stuff like that. So it's Parkside the deli. Everybody got their hood deli, but look how clean it is. It's clean in here, nice and clean. Look at this, nice and clean. Come in here and get your stuff clean in here. You know what I'm saying, nice and clean. You want to say anything? It's a Lakeview documentary. The white tees, black tees. That's how you know you're in a black neighborhood. But yo, it's clean in here. Look how clean. When the last time your bodega looked like this? Look at the floor. Look how neat it is. Yo, I challenge any community. I challenge y'all. I challenge y'all. Look at this. Look at our spot. Clean. You got your sandwiches, Philly cheesesteak, salami, egg, and cheese, cheeseburgers, jerk turkey, pepper. I don't eat pork, but you got your bacon sandwiches, same as bologna, all that. All that. The menu is crazy. I challenge y'all. You know what I'm saying? So we out the deli though. But still, I challenge y'all. What y'all's looking like? We got all the drinks, just like any deli, everything. Yeah. All right, so now I'm walking down the street. I'm walking through the town, walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? Chilling. I mean, and I'm me at the end of the day, but even if I weren't me, you know what I'm saying? You could do the same thing here too. You know what I'm saying? Look at this building. I remember when it didn't look like this, but that's what it's about. It's about making improvements over time. You know what I'm saying? We got the church right there, Bethel Church. You know, that's big. And I think we got like 7, 8 churches out here. Look, new real estate. You know what I'm saying? We got lawns. Your neighborhood got to have front and backyard. You know what I'm saying? To even come into the conversation, you got to have front and backyard. I'm going to show this spot right here too before we get to the park. This is amazing what we got right here. Look at this. We got our little peace section, the middle of town. Look, look at the sign. Please do not litter. Don't do that here. We need over here. You know what I'm saying? This is our Lakeview Peace Garden. You know what I'm saying? The middle of town, our main road, Whitfield Road. You could come over here and chill. You know what I'm saying? Come right here. Sit on the bench. Chill. No one to bother you. Watch the cars pass by. You know what I'm saying? Some people rent their house. Some people own their house here. Some people rent the house. Some people own their house. But it is what it is. Peaceful. We got stuff like this. We're making improvements. I think this has been over here now for 5 to 10 years. Growing up, this wasn't over here. But it's just become better and better. When I grew up here, you know, you could raise your kids here. We wasn't nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? And you'll see certain things. I know people will post things online like, oh, there was a teen takeover. That's just part of the generation where they tried to have their little teen takeover over here, and it was like a whole bunch of kids online. They had do that. We haven't had a homicide in this neighborhood since 2009. And some people may say, oh, that's 17 years ago. That ain't that long. But look, that's including domestic household abuse. What's going on in the street, outside, anything. We haven't had a homicide here since 2009 at all, including all cases. So that's a big deal. So again, that's another challenge for your black community. Show me your community. Show me your stats. You know what I'm saying? And that's including people coming from other communities in crime in your community. Because you could have a good community and people come from outside. They do home invasions, robberies, all of that. They commit homicide. We haven't had one since 2009 in this community. All right, but let's keep walking. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. You walk down this path. Look at this. Nice landscaping, peaceful. You hear birds chirping. The air is clean. You know what I'm saying? I challenge y'all. Look at this. Y'all see that waterfall up there? Y'all see that coming? She got her little doggy. The little doggy. The little puppy. But walk your dogs over here. Look at this, yo. This is in the middle of town on our main street. The waterfall. It's mad clean over here. No trash, no cigarette butts, no blunts, none of that. What they talking about? So this is what I'm talking about. When people be talking all that junk about the black community, like, yo, I'm proof. Yo, I come from a good community. Black community. Lakeview. Lakeview, Long Island, yo. Lakeview. Look at the well-mannered yards. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't have told everyone in the community to do your yard, cut the grass. This is just people who have made something of themselves. They got property. They care about their property. Look at that. Lakeview Peace Garden. Come on. Look at the sign. Dog waste. Clean up after your dog. You ain't see no poop. None of that. There's communities you walk through, that's all over. Black and white communities, they don't be cleaning up after their dogs. In Lakeview, we clean up after our dogs. You walk your dog, you clean it up. You know what I'm saying? You walk your dog, you clean it up. Look at this. New home construction. Look at that. Neat. Picket fence. You know what I'm saying? Here we go, and we going by our pool. We're going by a pool, summer camp. It's the outdoor section. Outdoor section for the pool. See inside the pool, the kiddie pool. They got the diving boards. You know what I'm saying? I think someone might be going in here on a trip. Harold Walker Memorial Park Pool. This is our pool, Lakeview Pool. We just call it Lakeview Pool. When we get up there, you're going to see the sign that just says Lakeview Pool. This is Lakeview Pool. I remember when I was a kid, we used to just walk in. We didn't even pay. Don't tell nobody. Hello, I'm doing a documentary in Lakeview. I just want to walk through real quick and see the pool. Thank you. All right, so yeah, just that cool. Look how cool they are. Those are black people. Look at our pool. We still got our flavor. Harold Walker Pool. There go the pool. It's the main pool. It's not that hot today. That used to be crowded when I was a kid. Then you got the diving pool. For those who know how to swim, I know how to swim. So this pool used to be bigger than that. They used to have two. I remember when they had a high dive. They got rid of the high dive. But I learned how to dive, do one and a halves, all of that right on that pool. And then we got the kiddie pool for the real small babies. So 3 pools. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. But do you have a pool? Does your town have their own pool that you could just walk to? You know what I'm saying? And then we got the locker rooms and all of that. Thank you. So, you know what I'm saying? It's the pool, Lakeview Pool. I hope everybody see this. I remember when we used to go in there. There was some people who was nice, man. I ain't gonna hold you. It was dudes that I know. I remember my homeboy Teddy, Teddy Biasi. He used to do like 2.5s in like 8th grade with no training, just natural skill. You know what I'm saying? Natural skill. Now we at the park, Lakeview Park. Every neighborhood got their park where you got your hoops and all of that. Look at ours. I'm telling you, this is a challenge. Every community, every black community. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just live there now. Are you from there? I want to be clear. Are you from a community like that? Look at our hoops. Look at this. Look at this. Where are all the drug dealers, all the drugs, all the gangs? Where is all that? Where's all that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, kids can't go to the park. Kids can't play because it's too much violence. Not here. Not in Lakeview. Brand new courts. We got rims up. You know what I'm saying? 5 rims. Brand new. Look at them. Regulation. Net. Rim. Everything in order. You could dunk. We got some hoopers that's from Lakeview too. Hoopers. You know what I'm saying? I know my year of high school, we won states. Oh, it was '06 basketball season, but the class of 2007. But you know, basketball season in the first half of the year. But we won states. Shout out to Craig, Greg, Steve, um, Rodis. Who else was on that team? think Brandon was on that team. Shout out to all the people that was on that team. We got hoopers from the town. People that's nice. You know what I'm saying? Kids playing. Then over there, we got the, you know, full park. We got swing sets, slides, whole bunch of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It don't stop there. We got a baseball field. I remember playing Little League Baseball here. Shout out to everybody that played Little League Baseball. I remember Doc was playing with us at one time. My my twin brother was all playing baseball. I was nice at baseball too. I should have kept playing. I should have played through the like sixth grade or something. I think I stopped at sixth grade. I should have played in high school. I was nice with it. You know what I'm saying? But this is um this part of this. Walking through. Hello. So yeah, it's the baseball fields. You got your bike rack. About to look at it all. See? It's the baseball field, bike rack. Put your bike here. Don't come on this field without a permit. You need a permit. Look at how nice it is. We got bleachers in ours. And look at how nice it is. That's turf out there. I'm telling you, you can't compete with us. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it. Cut it. You don't see no trash. None of that. None of that. And if you go down there, we got tennis courts. Should we walk down there? Let's walk down there. Let's walk down there. So here we are walking over to the tennis court. My microphone wasn't working. I forgot to press the record button. But yeah, here we are walking over to our tennis courts where we got our own tennis courts. You could train your kids, practice, adults get their tennis on. This is another spot. Again, we got like 3 spots for people to practice with tennis, and we got 3 spots for people to play basketball. Nice, healthy, clean areas, clean air. No one to bother you. It's not going to be like loud, distracting music or a whole bunch of people, distracting you from, trying to do something athletic and, productive during your leisure. We got nice, clean tennis courts. It's not like it's a whole bunch of trash and everything over there. Just something healthy within the community for people to make good use of their leisurely time. Water fountains for people to stay hydrated. It's a resource that's provided for people to be able to do something productive. Stay fit. Health is wealth. So it's good to see stuff like that in the community. People making good usage of the space. When I grew up, that wasn't always over there. You see a black couple right there. They got their tennis practice in, and now they leaving. So now we just heading across the street to the middle store. Lakeview, we got 3 main delis or bodegas. Like I said, we got Parkside, that's the main one. Then you got the middle store, and then you got the side store. That's just how we, name it. It's based off location. You say what's in the middle, what's in the side, and Parkside. That's just the easy way to do it. So this is the middle store. It's actually called the middle stop. You know what I'm saying? We just call it the middle store. You see you got your ice bags. So we're going to go inside here. This is another key part of the town. Again, so that a store is in close proximity for everyone, regardless of where you live in Lakeview. You can go get your, basic needs, toilet paper, paper towels, couple cleaning supplies, maybe dish detergent or to do your laundry if you need some gain or anything like that. Or if you need your sandwiches or something to drink, we have that. Close proximity, regardless of where you are, there's a store. So we inside. Again, they got the black tees and white tees. You know, sometimes that's a part of our culture. We just throw on a white tee or black tee to wear with an outfit. You throw that on with some blue jeans, some black pants, some Air Forces, you ready to go. That was a part of, you know, our culture. I remember growing up, we had songs, you know, in my white tee and all of that. That was just a part of our culture. Again, we got a clean deli. They don't got animals and pets in there, and you don't got a whole bunch of stuff on the floor, gum or nothing like that. It's clean. You know, you can eat in there, feel comfortable getting your food. You know, it's cool people. I was asking him questions if he wanted to be on camera. He said he didn't want to be on camera, but he was cool. He was chilling. It's the middle store. You know, your Snickers, your Sour Pouches, they got deodorant, all types of stuff in there. Stuff for kids to go get and just be kids. Get your ice if you need it. And then we walking back down the street. Again, look at the landscape and look at the house behind me. This is showing you, you know, consistency. White picket fences, clean yards, nice cars, nice houses. It's a community thing. It's not just a one-off thing here and there. You know, I'm walking down the street. Again, this is to give more footage of the community. You know what I'm saying? So now we're in front of one of the welcome to Lakeview signs, and we got several, but this one highlights Derek Atkins, one of our Olympic gold medalists. He won an Olympic gold medal in 1996, an Olympic gold medal for the 400-meter hurdles. You know, that's a sign in front of Lakeview Park. Now we walking over to Lakeview Library, right across from the park. So, you know, kids could go to the park and then go read, or they could go read and then go over to the park. You're going to see in the library, we got everything in there, computers, everything for the kids to access. So this is actual historical site. This used to be an elementary school before desegregation. This used to be an elementary school for the black kids in Lakeview. This school was one of the first to desegregate in 1965. Martin Luther King Jr. had came to the school. I believe it was either in May or June of 1965. He came to this specific school in Lakeview, you know, just doing his civil rights thing. And yeah, that's a good part of history. This is a historical site. It's a historical landmark. Now that we've made it our library. So that's just what I'm going over here. I'm talking about that, how this is a historical site and how, you know, the history behind it. You know, the sign stays there, talks about how it's a historical site. I read it and just give them some feedback. But then we're going to go inside the library and we're going to get a good quick look around for people to see what's going on inside. Again, it used to be a school, so our library is 3 floors. They got an elevator inside, big parking lot, spacious. You could go inside. They have summer programs, tutoring. They help you organize. You could print there for 10 cents a page. Middle school students, high school students, college students, anything you need support with. So yeah, we about to head inside now, Lakeview Library. Again, it's 3 floors inside there. All right, so we inside the library now. We inside. We walking inside the little lobby area, and they got signs up for things that they offer. Movie critic club. Can't see what that say, but I believe that was something for um, Women's History Month. They got something for AI critiquing and stuff like that, or showing kids how to use AI. And then, we just walked in. They always got the librarians in there to greet you. I was just letting the librarian know I'm going to be walking around. I was asking him if he was from Lakeview. He said no. So yeah, I'm just walking around. And, I've been in there a few times. Bathrooms. They got adult bathrooms and kid bathrooms, the books. It's a section for computers. If you need to use a computer, if you need to scan something, if you need to fax something, you go right to the library. They also usually have a notary in there. So you could use the library for different purposes. They got books in there. I remember checking out books. It's real organized, alphabetical order. They got the different genres you could read: horror, comedy, romance, different types of books that you could read. Fiction, nonfiction, informative text. It's a huge library, as you can see. Any questions, you just ask the main desk. Any programs you want to put your kids in. They have access to it. So now we're walking over to the kids section because they have an adult and child section. You can see what they have. They go to bathrooms. That's a bench dedicated to a black teacher who worked in the Malvern School District to an elementary school. They go to kid computers for them to work. See a lot of books. A lot of books. You could go in there and just pick a book to read with your kid. If you're not leaving the library, you don't got to check it out. But you could just go in there every day or every other day and make it an eventful thing in the summer. They got statues: Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Frederick Douglass, George Washington Carver. So kids can learn about black people, black history, black inventors. You could pick out a black inventor every day, or a black historical figure every day, and go over that person with your child in the library. So it's important to have a library in your community, one that has easy access. You could walk around, peaceful, as you see I'm doing. I also did a book signing here. They allow you to do book signing. They bring authors in. So it's pretty cool. Here, one of the managers is telling me that they're going to have a private booth soon for people who need to speak. Sometimes you've seen them in if you went to college, how you would have the study groups in those little booths. And you would go into a private booth where, you maybe could fit 4 people or something like that for study sessions, and you could talk. Um, Obviously the library is a silent place, so you're not talking. But in those private booths, you can talk. Some people need it. Sometimes, like I said, they have tutoring. They don't want to be too loud. Also, they have people who are learning different languages that they offer there. So they have the private booths that they're going to be bringing in before the end of the year, before the end of 2026. So that's what he was telling me right there. So now we making our way out. Again, look at that. Black history being displayed. There goes the elevator. 3 floors in there. So now we driving down the block. We're on Persian. And you can see the high school as you walk down the block. So it's kind of cool for the people who lived on this side of Lakeview. Like, you can see the school fairly quickly as soon as you turn on the Persian. And that goes for a lot of people who live on this side. It's like 5 or 6 blocks that walk towards the school. If you're from Lakeview, we're in the back of the school. The black and Hispanic kids live in the back of the school, and the white kids and, non-black kids usually lived in the front of the school. So that was always sort of a key thing with Lakeview, part of, some of the stereotypes that come with us. I've seen certain clips, but that's actually true. There was a few black kids that lived on the other side, and yeah. So now we're on the campus. That's our soccer field / lacrosse practices on that field sometime. But you see, we have a great campus. I will put our campus against any campus on Long Island. And I might say I want to see people's campus in the country. Like, we have a pretty darn good campus. We have a darn good campus, especially predominantly black school. You don't see too many black schools with this type of campus. It's Malvern High School. Our mascot is the Mule, so Malvern Mules. And I played football here, ran track here, did weightlifting here, did indoor track and outdoor track. That's where we got our basketball courts. So you get to see. I'm going to walk us over to the track. So as you walk up, you see the food area. We got a concession stand. Then we got a place where we put tables for people to eat. During the football games, people come out. The whole community comes out. When I was growing up, we used to have Saturday games at 2 p.m. We had a couple Thursday games around 4 p.m., so it wasn't long after school. The whole community comes out to the football games, almost like down south. We got some huge bleachers. You see the announcement booth for commentary, sports commentary. We got a track. We got turf. The huge M logo in the middle of the field. Got Malvern and the hill. That's turf. And that's where people watch the game on the hill. We got the M over there in the grass. This looks like a college campus. Like some D2 and D3 football fields don't even look this good. Bleachers on both sides. We could easily seat, 3,500 to 5,000 people. There we got the basketball courts. Scoreboard. Get in the concession stand, get your hot dogs, hamburgers, french fries, chips, soda, water for the game. We got lights now. We didn't have lights when I was there, but now we got Friday night lights. The Friday night games, the whole town comes out, you know, community vibes. Come out, watch the games. We don't got no metal detectors, nothing like that. You don't got to worry about no fights, no violence. People just going to enjoy the games. People are just going to enjoy the game. That is the Cobra Britt Memorial. Coach Britt. He was one of my teachers and my football coach. So he was my teacher, gym teacher in middle school, and he was my football coach in high school. So I got by the concession stand and I was like, nope, let me go back and get a good look at the Coach Britt Memorial. And I actually grew up with his daughter. I graduated with his daughter. So again, it's more community. You get to know people, you grow up with them, you build a rapport. If I tell you a mosquito can pull a plow, don't ask me how, just hook them up. So that was one of his phrases. He had, a lot of famous quotes. He used to say, when he wanted it quiet, he used to say, I wanna be able to hear, a rat piss on cotton, stuff like that. Just funny stuff that we all used to laugh at as teenagers and stuff. But now I'm walking over to the basketball courts. I remember when we used to have, you see it's turf, you see it's all clean. I remember when we used to have a handball court, but they got rid of the handball court and they built 2 full courts, basketball courts. You got the tennis courts. I believe we got 6 tennis courts and 2, it's 4 to 6 tennis courts and 2 full basketball courts, as you can see right there. They're regulation, new, you got nets, and you can go in there and play. So this is one of the 3 spots I was talking about where people go and they play either basketball or play tennis, and things like that. So, if people live closer to this side of town, instead of going to the park, they'll often just go right there to, get some hooping in. But the main spot is Lakeview, Lakeview Park for basketball. Also, this is open field. A lot of people used to go over here to just, get a good quick game of football, 2-hand touch, even tackle football sometimes. People get a little rough, a little crazy. Doing tackle football with no equipment on, no mouthpiece, nothing like that. Sometimes they play on the field and they're able to get their training in. So now we by the baseball field. State of the art baseball field, turf. You see we got batting cage, you know, practice the pitching, 300 and 327 for the home run. We got the foul post. Real neat. This is a whole extra wing that was put on the building for arts, science. It has a auditorium that we put over there. That wing wasn't there when I went there. But we, like I said, getting bigger and better, adding things to provide the kids with resources, more clubs, more AP courses, turf field. Look how neat it is. Got our bases. Your kid could be proud to play on this field. proud to play on this field. We got dugouts for the helmets, bats, neat. We got bleachers. If you want to sit in the outfield, we got bleachers in the outfield. Give it a realistic vibe for people to be able to catch a homer or anything like that. And we had a few good people that was good at baseball. I remember Kelvin. Kelvin played. I think he was playing varsity in like ninth grade. Or Dominican cat. So yeah, I'm just narrating. There to go to pitcher's mound. You practice. You working on your pitch. Your teammate is working on being able to hit, and that's what it's about. This is state of the art. A lot of kids don't have these resources. I've worked at schools where they wish they had stuff like this to practice. No metal cleats, no gum, no sunflower seeds. So again, this is the Malvern baseball field. On the other side, we actually got a softball field as well. So this is a good community for teachers to teach in. I'm an educator, and this is a good community for students to learn in. You know, I've come back to the school and teachers who taught me 20, 30 years. We got some teachers who've been there 40 years because it's a real community vibe. It's a community feel. And the students are good. It's not crazy. So people want to stay. If you see a school community that has a fast turnover, that's a problem. Usually an administrative problem, but it's a problem. Sometimes kids act up just because they're allowed to act up because administrators don't know what they're doing. But even in our community, that doesn't happen. So this was a look at our campus. We got the tents with tables for kids to eat. Go outside at lunchtime. We used to go outside, get our food, and then just come back in the lunchroom. But this is our campus, blue and orange, school colors, cameras all over, clear landscaping, nice organized parking lot. Ain't much more to say. We out here. Ben's dealership over on Lakeview Ave. Does your neighborhood have a Ben's dealership? Like, yo, that tells you something, you know what I'm saying? At Island Collision Center. We got cars and all that. Right near the side store. I told you, black communities be having bodegas. They call it Lakeview Deli and Grill. We just call it the side store. Yo, where you at? The side store. That's what it was growing up. It's close enough to the school, so some people used to come here on their break. Some people used to come here on their lunch break from school. Like, yo, I'm gonna just run to the side store. You could walk to the side store. You could walk to the bagel shop. You could walk to Subway, Dunkin' Donuts. All of that was like right across from the school, but on the property. You know what I'm saying? We got our one little small section of apartment buildings or of an apartment building. You know what I'm saying? It's near there. But look how neat it is. Grass. People rent or whatever. And it's right near the Lakeview sign. Lakeview. You know what I'm saying? It's on the side of the side store. So let me take a picture over here. Okay, we back. Again, we out here. So all you're gonna see is black people. Look, I didn't, infiltrate someone else's neighborhood. This is us. You know what I'm saying? Us, we in here. Let's go on the side store. So we're saying here. So again, we got another neat spot. Look how neat it is. That's we 3 for 3. 3 for 3. Make your coffee, iced coffee, all of that. We 3 for 3. So the ATM, it is what it is. You know, 3 for 3. Your peppermints, black teas and white teas is everywhere. They got sandwiches, all types of sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? All types of sandwiches. Camera, clean, safe, side store, Lakeview. So, oh, we get out the side store. Dang, do I want to walk all the way down? So we on Langdon. This is Lakeview Ave and Langdon. A couple people live down there down Langdon. You know what I'm saying? I'm with my peoples, Steve. Few people lived off Langdon. James. Few people lived off of Langdon. You know what I'm saying? Close to the school. Um, I guess we walking. We could walk down there. We could walk down there by the preserve. You know what I'm saying? Again, look, we not crowded, congested. You could park. Look at our landscaping. Look how it's well kept in the middle of our street. It's the middle of the street right there. Got a little landscaping, and it's well kept. You know what I'm saying? And I'm walking. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking slow. I'm chilling. Want to show y'all over where the Tanglewood Preserve is. Could have got back in my car, but sometimes you just gotta walk and talk. Drop my mic. Walking and talking. Nice houses. Nice houses. Nice lawns. You know what I'm saying? This is a challenge. What does your community look like? You know what I'm saying? I'm from here. Born in Queens. I grew up out here. I grew up in Queens too, but I grew up here. I'm from here. You know what I'm saying? Got a house for sale. Get out the street. I hear someone coming. Pause. All right. Let's go this way now. Over by the Tanglewood Preserve. Over on Tanglewood. Over here. These nice houses. Nice. I know. Nice. Tell you one thing that's good. People don't keep their dogs outside anymore like they used to growing up. Growing up, big dogs outside in Lakeview. So the Tanglewood Preserve, just so y'all see, it starts right here. That's not the entrance though, but it starts right there. You walk all the way down here. No one used to walk down this block going up. This used to be like uh, a block that you didn't expect cars to drive down or nothing like that. So we over here on Tanglewood. Again, I'm walking through the community. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut some of it because I don't want to try to be walking just too long. But got logs in there, do a little fire. So they be having little camps over here, and they do different things with the kids in the summer at the Tanglewood Preserve. Now this is where the library used to be. I remember the library was over here. It's like a little house type thing, and our library used to be over here growing up. But the crazy thing is, I knew where it was. I actually went in there. Now to walk from the deepest part of Lakeview to the other part of Lakeview, probably you're talking like maybe 30 minutes. It depends on if you're including over by pick and run. But I say 30 minutes. Like if we walked from like right here, Tanglewood Preserve, over near the firehouse. We gotta go in the firehouse. See? Tanglewood Preserve. See that? Yeah, see that little house? That's where the Lakeview Library used to be. Come see the dinosaurs. Look, Tanglewood Preserve. From 9 to 5. Rules prohibit dogs fishing except with applicable New York State license. You come over here and fish. Commercial photography except by permit. Illegal drugs, disorderly conduct, alcohol except by permit only. Gambling or possession of weapons, littering or defacing property. Commercial activity except by permit. Radios or amplifying sound except by permit. Trespassing when closed. Fires. So you could just come and walk through here. So that says Center for Science, Teaching, and Learning. They do tutoring and stuff like that over here. So again, welcome to Nassau County Tanglewood Preserve. This is in Lakeview. You know what I'm saying? This is important to have things like that for kids to do. Go in there, be in tune with nature type of thing. I'm not going to go in there because I'm filming and they may consider it commercial photography and I don't have a permit. So we're going to just follow the rules. But I think y'all get the idea of what it is. So on to the next. I gotta get this. Here's our Nassau County Police booth for the 5th Precinct. It's a booth. I remember it was always empty. I think it's like a little rest stop or something for them, for the police when they are on like patrol. I like that entry, that pathway. But I remember it used to always be empty. I used to think it was a little security booth or something like that, but it was never really nobody in there. And there's also, you know, I think that pastor live over here. Uh, that singer dude, pastor, what's his name? Donnie McClurkin. I think he lives over here down. I ain't trying to get an address away, but I think he live over here somewhere in Langdon. I think that's what I heard. So,
Oh,
like,
yerp. Check, yerp. Lakeview in the building, bro. We come from the best place on earth, bro. Black suburb. Beautiful talent out here. We got plenty of talent, plenty of minds out here, including myself. People do graphics. People do landscaping. People got their own businesses. People doctors. People teachers out here. We got mad educators.
Keep in mind, I'm not that short. He like 6'5". Oh, you 6'5"?
I'm 6'4", yeah. So look, he still got the. He's in the sixes, ladies. He's in the sixes, man. Let's go.
I'm like 5'11". I'm like 5'11".
He
But and his brother, your brother, what, 6'7"?
Yeah. That's a fun fact. 6'7". Yep. 6'7". Yep. We come. We had grits on our farm.
Yeah, so I know him and his brother. They both play ball, both tall. Us in their genetics.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So this is a Lakeview documentary right here.
Yeah.
I can't really say. I'm breaking fourth wall right here. But so what inspired you to do that though? I'm interviewing you, yeah. I'm interviewing you.
Nah, because the narrative is that black communities is always just ghetto and hood.
Oh, really?
And they can't look like this. So I'm walking around the town. I done went to the side store, middle store, Parkside. I showed them the Lakeview Garden. I showed them our park. I showed them my Malvern School District, our campus.
Yeah,
all of that.
It's been built up. And even if it wasn't built up, we made it. You know what I'm saying? We were resourceful. So back when it had rocks on the track, it didn't matter. That shit was like a sanctuary to us, and it still is. The whole town works out there. The school sports, he work out there. The whole community work out there.
He's trying to give you your money.
Yeah.
You want to be in it?
I could go all day about out here. I love being from out here, brother. I feel blessed and golden from being out here, brother. It's a real sacred place.
We outside making that money, take care of our kids, stay in school.
That's right.
Stay at work. Do good for yourself.
Just got off of work. Yep.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate you. Go Nick, Nixon 5, baby.
Nixon
5, baby.
Let me tell you. All right, so did you know? All right, since you're saying Nick.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Who's from Lakeview?
Sandra Brunson. That's the mother of Jalen Brunson. I've been honored to meet her. I met her at a Women in Sports celebration, celebrating the women in sports from this community, and that went to this school. Yes, and she was honored that night along with Miss McGowan. That was dope. And Mrs. White, too. They all three were honored, and they all three knew each other and they were talking. Yes, Sandra Brunson's from Lakeview. So we raise kings and we raise queens out here, too, brother.
Not many people knew that. Not many people know that.
That was a fact, and that's been forever, bro. Like, my coworkers all know her. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, I found that out like 6 months ago.
Maybe I give it maybe like 5 years or something like that. Like, maybe.
So, yeah, that's a fun fact.
Yo, dope, man.
Derek Atkins, I tell him we got Olympic gold medalists. We had dope basketball players, football players, man. All of that.
Harvey, Satchmo, bro. We got players, bro. Andre Hawkins and stuff.
What's the name? Who the gym named after?
Hank Williams. Great Hank Williams, yep.
Hank Williams, mad ball players. I grew up with his grandson.
And now his family is training a bunch of players.
Yeah,
the next generation of players too. So
we come from great athletes, basketball players, football players, track and field, baseball players, minds.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, so they can't touch us. This is a challenge because you know how they got hood vlogs. This is good vlogs.
Yo, good vlogs. I like this right here.
Good vlogs. And this is a challenge. I'm challenging someone to come up with a black community better than this.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to show a black community better than this that they're from.
Good. Then we're gonna start doing these actual meaningful challenges because everybody got their little challenges and stuff. Oh, twerk challenge. No. Let's do a knowledge challenge. Let's do a community challenge. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna keep raising each other up with good competition. That's it. You
Exactly.
know what I'm saying?
None of we don't need all of that hood stuff. They talk about the violence and the gangs
Right.
and all
We
of
got
that stuff.
right.
Nah,
Only
we talking
positive
about
going on.
all the good stuff, where we from, and what we do here.
It's
So
great, bro.
you hearing it? This is just people I'm running into. I ain't train nobody and tell nobody to
I
say
don't even hang
nothing.
out with him every day, but
This is their
when we
honest
see each other,
perspective.
it's lit.
He was a year above me in
Yep.
school. He 06, I'm 07. I know his older brother. These are people I knew my whole life. I knew for forever. And it's just everybody's perspective. You know, you can raise your kids here. You can stay here. You don't got to move to somewhere that's predominantly white or Asian, or just to
Hmm.
have, a better place to raise your kids. You grew up here and you can raise your kids here.
That's right.
All right, so we here. We outside of Lakeview Fire Department, the Lakeview Firehouse. You see it in the back, where we got our own fire department where they handle business, local fires or things like that. Um, we don't have too many, but they also do other things. I remember, they have events here where you can come meet the firefighters. Most of them are volunteer firefighters, but they come in here to handle their business. Also, like during the holidays, I remember growing up during Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas now, but I used to. We still got a lot of people who celebrate Christmas. Um, they used to have come around on a fire truck and have like someone dressed up as Santa Claus and all of that. And it was good for the kids. Caused excitement. They come around on the fire truck. The fire truck it's lit up, got Christmas lights on it, blowing the horn, going around every block in Lakeview. So right here, Woodford Road, Lakeview Firehouse. Um, we may go inside and see what we see if we could talk to some of the guys. But yeah, Lakeview Firehouse. Do you have a uh your own firehouse in your community? With the community name. This is Lakeview Firehouse. They fight our fires. Obviously, they assist with local fires if the nearby community needs support. I'm sure they support with that too. But obviously, this is predominantly to fight fires in Lakeview. It's good to have. Yeah, Lakeview Fire Department since 1909. Can we just walk in? So it's the fire department. Probably don't go in and talk.